Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Last time we started the Lakebed Temple and also I had a good talk about all my recent upgrades, so when all is said and done, now we're ready to head in here in this little passageway to make our way to the mini-boss of this dungeon. So let's go ahead and dive right down into this area. So a nice little thing you can do while you're here, put on your iron boots in here and walk through this little wind tunnel. Do so, and you have this little treasure chest that's back here, and it has some regular bombs for you in case you're running low on those. Now, if you guys have bomb bags filled with multiple types of bombs like I do, and you have bomb bags, like for example, 2 bomb bags filled with the same type of bomb, here's what's going to happen whenever you collect some bombs. It's going to be filled up to one type of bomb bag. Now I don't know exactly which bomb bag it would always fill up to, like which one it will specify, but I think it's the one that's higher up on the list. So if I had bombs here and bombs here, regular type of bombs, and this was like water bombs for example, I think this would be filled but this would not be filled. So you get my point. I don't know exactly which one's which gets triggered, but I'm glad I picked up regular type of bombs because that was a great time to explain that. You can't pick which bomb bag to fill up. You can only fill up one type of bomb bag and it's automatic. But in this one, this has 20 rupees, so kind of a minor thing. That's actually very easy to get pushed into. So those rupees are kind of easy to get because of it. Now, we can't do anything about those, but I do want my water bombs, but also I want to go up here. Because if we go all the way up here, we have some pots, and I want to see what's in these pots. Oh, yellow rupees. So there's a free 20 up here. I know I'm kind of dragging things out a bit here, but I'm curious, guys. I want to see what's up here. Because I've only been in these little areas once, so I don't remember what's in these little segments. Alright. Let's stop dragging this on for longer than it needs to be. Put down a water bomb here to blow up this little rock, and you'll have a passageway to the mini-boss fight. Now, as you guys saw, there was a door actually in a previous room we were in. In fact, I want to go back to this map to show you. As you guys see, there's this one little room that's... I wish I had my pointer on right now, but the room we were in before that got us that small key. As you see, that door connects to the room we're going to. The thing is, though, if you go through that door, you won't be able to go anywhere because that's a blocked passage. You need to do something in this room first in order to open up that way. So it's kind of pointless to go into that door, which is why I didn't. But you want to come in this little bottom segment, and that's how you get inside the room. But as soon as we get in here, we're locked in. And what the heck is this? Little tadpole. I don't even know what that was for. So let's look up. What is that? Dropping eyeballs. Oh, what in the world? That is one huge frog with a bunch of eyeballs on its back. Well, that's kind of weird. Oh, the eyeballs are its children. And those aren't eyeballs. I'm believing that's like the mark on their bellies. So, for now, just kill all its children. That kind of sounds morbid if you think about it. Once you do so, then this big old frog will jump in the air, look out for its shadow, and move out of the way. And then just wail on its tongue. The tongue is the weak spot. And now, this is a very, very easy mini-boss, simply because this right here. Whenever he does this, I actually have the wrong thing equipped. You want to shoot a bomb in his mouth. Doing so will get him in an infinite loop where you can just keep on attacking him and that thing will be dead in no time. I kind of screwed up there because I thought I had my bomb arrows equipped when obviously I did not. But if you go ahead and shoot him with a bomb arrow there on his tongue, you can go ahead and kill this guy rather fast. So let's just, slice away his tongue once again. And also when you shoot bomb arrow on his tongue, as you guys know, bombs do damage, so you're also kind of doing, I think a little bit of damage, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, well, it's not a big deal, because you're getting to stun him anyways. And he's already dead. If I didn't really screw up with the items there and shot a bomb in his mouth earlier, then I would have had this fight done even faster. But after he's dead, he spits out a treasure chest, and I don't think I want that now. Well, it's a good thing Link is wearing gloves. Problem is, though, fingers are coming out of the gloves, so that's not helping. But he gives us the Clawshot. Very similar to the hookshot in other Zelda games. This is our hookshot, actually. You can go ahead, select it, fire with it, and you can pull items to you or pull yourself over to ledges. So let's go ahead and equip that. And actually, I do want to equip my water bombs still, because we're going to need those. So here's an example of the Clawshot. You can go ahead and latch onto things like this, but no problem. The Clawshot actually is a nice inclusion to the Zelda series instead of hookshot. Kind of changing the design a tiny bit. It's the same exact item. But personally to me, I like the look of the Clawshot more than the hookshot. And simply because of one reason and one reason alone. I know this might sound kind of funny, but it's kind of a big thing. It just looks more natural whenever Link uses it to grab items and pull himself over to like ledges and such. With the hookshot, it doesn't really look like that little hook is able to pull Link all the way over to a ledge or something. It just doesn't look all that natural to me. But with the Clawshot, that's a completely different story. It looks more natural. And in fact, actually while we're in here, we can get a heart piece. So let me go ahead and get that heart piece now while I'm here, before I forget, since I'm already forgetting. Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, we can't get the heart piece just yet. What we need to do is we need to, raise the water level in this room before we can get the heart piece. And luckily now, since we have the Clawshot, that makes climbing up those little ledges faster, since we can go ahead and grab onto them. So, you know what, just for the fun of it, I never go down this area, but let me see if I can go down in this little area here. I think I can, because I think this was the area I pointed out in the last video. Yep, right here into the side. You can grab the mesh, and that just lets you surf around in here, or I don't know why I just said surf around. But as you see, like I said in the previous video, I don't really find anything of value here. And what is this green thing I am standing on? What the heck? Wow, I've never seen this before. This looks really weird. It looks like some kind of pearl or clam or something. The other one just looks like a big old bush. Man, that's really weird. As you see, there's no little treasure chest down here, just enemies to fight, and that's where you can get some of your rupees, and there are some pots underwater. So, really, like I said in the previous statements, there's really nothing of value here. I really only find it worth it to come down here, just for maybe your handful of rupees, and even then, not worth it. There's mesh here, so you won't have a hard time trying to get your way back over. And Link can go ahead and climb on top of mesh like this. This is really something you don't see much at all. In fact, I think that's the first time I actually seen that animation. Because I never bother to climb like that on the mesh. I just keep on hookshotting my way over to the mesh and just drop down. That's all I do. So that kind of looked funny. But yeah, I don't really find a point to that room at all. It just seems very pointless to me. But, well, that all said, now, since we have the Clawshot, we can go ahead and traverse into different areas of this dungeon. And one of the things we can do now, since we have it, is we want to go ahead and hookshot our way up here. Even though it's called the Clawshot, I'm still going to refer it to hookshot, because that's how I'm used to saying things. And there's a treasure chest up here on the chandelier. Go ahead and open it, and that's a piece of heart for you. So that's a very easy piece of heart to get if you're exploring. And are you that stupid, Link? You really think jumping head first, where a ladder, not really a ladder, I was about ready to call this a ladder, stupid me, but thinking jumping head first into a stairwell, you think that's a good idea? Maybe that's why I can't talk, because maybe Link went ahead and destroyed one of the brain cells that deals with speech. I wouldn't be surprised because of Link jumping head first like that into the stairways like this. But once you start, making a current, you have moments like this we can go ahead and move the bridge here, or move the stairwell, and you create a big current. And as you can see, it's leading into a different part of the dungeon. That's why there's these little alcoves on the bottom of these doors to allow water to move freely in here. So now there's water running in this area, we can go ahead and make it to this part of the dungeon. And also, by doing so, if we get the water current turned on in this area, we can do the same thing with a previous room, and that can get us in our heart piece, actually. So let's go ahead and open this up. This has even more water bombs for you in case you're still low on water bombs. So, like I said earlier in the previous episode when we first got in here, they give you plenty of water bombs, so you really shouldn't have an issue with running out of bombs. Alright, so let's just make our way over here. Drop down. No, don't climb back up. And let's just get on the other mesh. Oh, no. Why did that happen? I hate it when that happens. That will sometimes happen to me if I'm trying to climb that mesh, or any kind of mesh like that in general. Well, just hookshot my way over there. If you go ahead and grab the lowest section of one of these little, vine ways here, is better, lack of words, I should say, then Link will fall to his death. He will not grab it, and he will fall. And that's annoying because you don't know sometimes if you grab the lowest section or not until it's too late. Kind of a big problem I have with this kind of system at times. You might just sometimes grab your way into a point where you can't grab onto, and that kills you. And somehow Link keeps on moving down, even though I'm hitting right or left on the control stick. I don't know what that's about. Maybe I have to, like, unplug and replug in my nunchuck to fix that. But here's one of these enemies we saw before in the bubble. Now that we have the Clawshot, we can just pull him right out of the bubble. Makes things easier on us since we don't have to waste any bomb arrows to do that. Oh, speaking of bomb arrows, we need them here anyways. So just get the bombs and the arrows and just shoot this little stalactite and we're good to go. I always like to keep my Clawshot equipped whenever I can because of how useful an item this is. You'll find that the most useful items of the game here that you now have, the ones that you're going to be coming back to a lot, you already have in your inventory. In fact, actually, for the most part, you're going to see my item select look like this, unless we need to use a certain item from a dungeon. So, well, not really having the bomb arrows equipped like this all the time. It'd be more just the arrows by themselves. And what do you know? This room has two of these little bubble enemies. Ah, there we go. Slice and diced. And we need to use our little Clawshot here to get out of here and get into the next part of this area. And ooh, what do you know? Little geyser. You know what that means? Nope, I'm wrong. I thought for a second you can go ahead and Clawshot your way. I mean, not Clawshot. Well, we can do that too. This is a nice little shortcut to get up here. You can go ahead and climb around until you get to this section here, but you still have to Clawshot your way over. And just ignore the enemies here, trust me, because you don't need to fight them at all. They're not going to be a problem. And that was very close to the edge. Thought for a second I was going to roll right off the side. That would have been funny. Alright, so this is our second and last place we can go ahead and raise the water level. And here's some more standard bombs for us. That's nice since we've been using a good amount of them. And they went to the other bomb bag, the one I'm not using. Typically, when it comes to the bomb bags, I like to use the normal bombs that have the lowest amount of bombs in them. Because then if my other one's filled, then the bombs will just kind of like go over there for a while. So that's one reason why I do it. And also, I just always like to use the fewest one. Just a personal preference. If you go ahead and pull your way over to this little ledge, you can go ahead and get the compass. Like we need it now because we're pretty much ready to finish the dungeon. In fact, we only have one little thing left we need to do, and then we can go ahead and take on the boss. And the one thing we need to do is we need to get the boss key. Or the big key as this game calls it. But that's all we need now, so really, having the compass at this point kind of feels a little late in the dungeon. Yeah, that's how a lot of the dungeons kind of do it. They don't give you the compass for the most part until you have the item from the dungeon. I mean, this is the the third dungeon in a row where we got the compass after the item in here. So it kind of feels a little pointless sometimes since you get it kind of near the end of the dungeon. I mean, we're not going to be done just yet. Like I said, we still have something else we need to do. But it just feels like they give it to you a little too late to really make like the full use of it. And one of the best uses of the compass is actually in the first dungeon alone, where you can go ahead and use it to locate all the areas where the monkeys are. So your first time playing, it makes it so much easier to find all those monkeys. So, I wish the dungeon had more uses like that in this game, but it doesn't. And in Wind Waker, I like how the dungeon, the compass is used as well, because in Wind Waker, when you make it to the Earth Temple and the Wind Temple, you can use the compass to keep track of your partners you have in there. And I really like that concept. Well, not the partners as much, because sometimes that can get annoying, but the fact that the compass can go ahead and keep track of the partners for you. Now, what I always like to do with this guy is I always like to have him go off the edge. It's just so funny to see him fall off the edge, and knocking him off is even funnier. I mean, come on. How can you not find that funny? But as you guys see right down here, that is where we need to go next. What you have to do to get over to where I'm above now is you need to kind of like traverse your way around these platforms, these spinning platforms here. But there's another way to get down there. You gotta jump and hope for the best. There's a way where you can jump right onto that platform. It's very tricky to do. I've done it a handful of times at most. But you can do it. You can make it down there. In fact, you might actually have to do it from this angle. Yeah, you gotta do it from this angle. So you wanna roll. One thing is you gotta time it right so it doesn't, you know, hit these cogs. You don't want to hit any of these cogs and land on it. There you go. That's how you do it. You roll jump, yeah, do a little jump attack, and you make it over to this platform. So that's a nice little shortcut. Otherwise, you have to traverse it through this whole entire room. I'll show you the gimmick of this when we have to make our way back, and this just makes things so much faster for us. Trust me, it really, really helps. And I recommend you guys try that trick if you want to get through this dungeon as fast as you can. Alright, over here is kind of useless. In fact, I think I actually was in the right spot, wasn't I? Mostly. I think I had to go down a little more to get to the right spot. Yeah, I was kind of right. Alright, so you want to go up here first. And right in here is a bombable wall, but we need water bombs, right? Well, the game's kind enough to give you water bombs that you can kill. That's right, you can go ahead and just get free water bombs now just by killing enemies. Because the enemies are the bombs. So this is a nice free trick in case you're out of water bombs. So like I said earlier, wait, what the? That hit the wall? Okay, clearly that explosion didn't look like it hit the wall. But it did. That doesn't make sense. But like I was trying to say, the game gives you enemies that are water bombs, so the game really assumes that you're using water bombs like crazy at this point, and that's the only type of bomb you have. So because of it, now they're giving you a free alternative, even though they're filling up your bomb bag like crazy. So they're very, very generous with water bombs. They're extremely generous. In fact, actually, there should be like another water bomb enemy here, if I'm not mistaken. No, I am mistaken. Oh well, get used to water bombs. I mean, I have 30 of them. And this is the place where they're going to get used the most, in this dungeon. After this dungeon, they're not going to get used as much. And that was a pretty picture of the clam. Just open up the wall and he's like, "Hey, buddy." It's like this big "hey, buddy" face. Alright, but I think if we come all the way up here, this will kind of lead us to where we needed to go. Well, that is if I don't keep on hitting the surface here, then, you know, hitting the wall, the surface, I should say. Yeah, this is the room we need to go in. And oh, hey, another one of these little bubble enemies. Gotta love these guys. Simply because they're so easy. Just pull them out or blow them out. That kind of sounds suggestive, but just go ahead and do one of those two tricks and you kill them right away. So as you see, hitting the switch will go ahead and open the door, but if you let go by itself, then the door closes. So this is kind of a little area where they teach you use the joystick to move up and down with your claw shot, and that's how you make it through that segment. But by doing so, you get yourself the boss key, or big key, sorry. I always confuse this with boss key because that's why I think of it. But now that we have the big key, we can go ahead and take on the dungeon's boss. So we're all... What was I trying to do there? Let me try that again. We're all ready to take on the boss of this dungeon. I was about ready to say something different again. We're ready to take on the boss of the dungeon now. We only need to do one thing, and it's to get the heart piece that's in here. And that heart piece we kind of have to go a little bit out of our way for, but that's not that big of a deal. We're kind of backtracking to a previous room to get it. But there's also another heart piece I want to get before we finish this dungeon, and I'll get that after we get the heart piece I'm thinking of. So now I go ahead and have to traverse this room the way they intended you to do it. Unfortunately, though, I kind of missed my shot. You kind of want to like overshoot it because that will help you grab the next one. In fact, actually, I really kind of screwed up there. Now, this is kind of stupid. You have no way of defending yourself when you're holding a area like this, so you have to hope for the best that these bats don't hit you since you can't kill them. I really don't like this segment because of the fact that you're defenseless. Because it's so easy for you to get knocked off here and die if a bat just goes ahead and love taps you of all things. It doesn't have to try to force hit you or anything. Nope, it just has to touch you and you're dead. Well, not exactly dead, but you're knocked off the platform. And it's very, very annoying. Especially because of the fact that this takes so long to traverse that getting knocked off and having to start from the beginning just kind of makes it feel too tedious. And whenever I'm hanging in one of these segments and that music starts to play for an enemy being nearby, I just kind of feel tense because I have this fear in the back of my head that I'm going to get knocked off and have to do this all over again. Luckily that wasn't the case. I never got touched once. I'm glad because it seems like every 2 of the 3 times I play this game, let's just say that, 2/3 of the time I play this game, I'll get knocked into the pit. And that is really annoying. But now that we have the waterway here raised again, we now have access to the boss door, but since we still need to get the other heart piece in this dungeon, I'm not going to go there just yet. Now there's also mesh on the ceilings and on the walls here, and that kind of helps you get past those little areas where there's a door, like, well, not door, why did I say door? Probably because there's one in front of me, so I was thinking it. But when there's a wall like that blocking your way, then you go ahead and just use that to make your way through. But let's go ahead and get this heart piece I'm thinking of, and then we'll get the other heart piece I'm thinking of. And then we'll call it a video. Because to start the next one, we'll go ahead and take on the boss. These dungeons have had like a nice little system going. About 2 videos for the dungeon itself, and then 1 video leading up to the boss, and then whatever else we have to do otherwise. So that's very nice. Have a good little system going on for this. But now that we raised the water level in here, that bridge is accessible for us now. We can go ahead and use that bridge. And when we get to the other side, you hear something. Sounds like the guy has some little problems, but it's a lizard enemy, so well, we know what to do to kill these guys in one shot after seeing it before. Go ahead and use a bomb arrow, and that kills these little lizard enemies in one shot. But you stand right here, and that opens this. Oh, what? What? No. Tektites. Don't want you. Hello, buddy. Goodbye, buddy. So what you want to do here is if you step out the switch, those doors will shut immediately, so you want to go ahead and use your Clawshot to pull you over to the chest. Well, near the chest, I should say. And doing so gives you a new piece of heart. Now we only need 1 more, and we have another heart container all filled up, so let's go ahead and get ourselves 1 more heart piece, shall we? And I can't reach that from here. Fantastic. Now, a nice thing I like about the Clawshot is that you can use it while you're swimming. So that makes things easier for you. And I heard my audio kind of skip for a second there in my recording, so I'm hoping that that doesn't happen in the video itself. One kind of stupid thing I noticed about Pinnacle and the Dazzle itself is if you're recording in AVI full quality and recording on the hard drive on the machine you're recording with, it kind of lags the video and has like frame skipping and also desyncing. but recording it to a different hard drive doesn't have that issue. That's kind of weird. But now, since we have both heart pieces in this dungeon, there's one more I want to get, and it's outside. So this goes ahead and shows Uku's use. Uku will warp you in and out of the dungeon whenever you need to. So it's a nice little checkpoint of the dungeon, so to say. So let's go ahead and warp out of here. Yes, yes, now leave it to me. Floating head? What the heck? Let me introduce you. This is Uku Jr. Anytime you want to warp back to the spot from outside, ask him. If you want to meet me at the entrance rather than warping here, just go there and I'll meet you. Now, bon voyage, you two. So this little head, named Uku Jr., will warp you inside and outside the dungeon. But if you didn't want to warp back inside the dungeon, you just want to use this as a nice little shortcut to get out, just go to the entrance of the dungeon, Uku meets you there, and your warp point's destroyed. So I don't recommend you guys walking back into the dungeon. That just kind of seems pointless. If you want to go ahead and maybe warp yourself to the beginning of the dungeon, that's kind of a good trick, but Lakebed Temple's not a good dungeon to use that trick for. But if you come back in here where the light spirit is, and use the Clawshot here to climb your way in the back area, there's a heart piece located in this back room. And not just a heart piece, but there's also some rupees back here. As you see, there's two little chests here, but these chests, they don't really have anything but rupees in them, so you want to go ahead and light the two torches. And by doing so, that will give you the chest that has the heart container in it. So I want to go ahead and equip both Uku Jr. and my Clawshot again. Back to their original places. Oh wait, no, this one has regular bombs, and then the other one has rupees. I think that's how it goes. I could have sworn I remember both of these having rupees. That's just a blue rupee even, so that's not even worth it. And don't roll into the chest, Link, open it. But there we go, we get another piece of heart. Getting all 5 pieces gives us a new heart container like always. We have plenty of hearts now, actually. We have a great chunk of hearts collected. So now we can go ahead and use Uku Jr. to warp back. But there's also a little room on the very top of this area. And if you get an item from one of the last dungeons in the game, you can get up there. I don't say it's all that worth it, because it's really just for a good chunk of rupees. So let's go ahead and use Uku Jr. I need a drink, don't I? And by drink, I don't mean alcohol. I know probably some people are thinking that when I say I need a drink. No, I need like a drink of water or something, and just take a second to think. That's what I mean by a drink. But we use Uku Jr. to warp back here, and now we're all ready to take on the boss of Lakebed Temple. Which I'll be saving for the next video, guys. So while I go down here to go ahead and get us some more rupees and get attacked by a bunch of fish, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. So next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, we're going to go ahead and take on the boss of Lakebed Temple. So with that, I will see you guys next time. As if I can find a door first. Okay, there it is. Now I'll see you guys next time.